We're at still 13 with Alan Kilshaw. Have you any further reflections from last week's game at York?
Obviously disappointing. What we said on the day, we didn't deliver that performance that we should have done. I still don't think we've reached the heights of the performance that we were putting against Toulouse, and I still think there's a lot of improvement in us, and that'll come. Or if it doesn't, then we'll be disappointed. I still think we're probably at a 5-6 out of 10. For the campaign so far, and our performances need to improve, and we need to convert what we're doing on training, onto a match day, and hopefully, after this week we've got a good run of games, and we can put some real good performances together and get that consistency that we need to get to. We were way off in a lot of areas at York, which is disappointing because we defended pretty well this year, and to concede 40 points. And some of the nature of the tries that we let in is against everything that we've trained for and that we've done earlier on in the year. So we had a good review on Tuesday, and the lads were pretty honest, and we've trained hard this week, and we'll go again the weekend after this and look to improve.
And you gave the lads the week off after the South Wales game in the run up to the York game. Do you look back at that as a mistake, or do you think it was still beneficial given the amount of games that we've played?
Yeah, look, in terms of for that one game against York, then maybe, you could look at it and say we probably could have kept some training, but in the course of the season and the bigger picture, we needed to have that break. We'd had a long stretch of games. 14 weeks in a row, plus friendlies. Since November they've only had 2.5 weeks off, with a little bit of time. We had them in over Christmas, so we did need that break. You could say we went to York a little bit undercooked in terms of a couple of one-sided games there, leading up to the week off, and then the week off. We came back in good shape. We trained well before the York game, and we were ready to go. It's not an excuse. We don't regret giving them that time off because they needed it, like I say, and it'll be beneficial long term.
And you've boosted your squad this week. You've made the Lord signing of Ryan Manile. What do you think he'll bring to the club?
Yeah, Ryan can play a couple of positions, hooker and loose forward. He's probably more of a hooker. He's just really good round the ruck. He's smart. He's quick out the ruck. We like to play with two hookers, and he can bring us that. But he's also a really good defender. So if he was playing in the middle at loose forward, he can put a shot on, and he can bend people, and he's aggressive. And he's played 9 games in the Championship this year. He really played well in the Championship last year for Halifax when they sort of came to at the back end of last year and beat some full-time teams and beat some Super League teams. So he'll add a lot to the group. First session with us last night, and you could just see his little touches of class there. And I'm sure as he gets to know the other players and our system and structures, he'll develop even further. It's a good time for him to come in this week without a game. It just gives him a little bit of time to get used to those things we mentioned, the calls and the systems, and he'll be in the squad or in the reckoning for the Newcastle game.
And are you looking to bring anyone else in the coming weeks, or are you happy with where we're up to now?
Well, we're always having a look. There's a couple of players that are available or we're trying to make available, but it's just we've got a very strict budget. We had a strict budget at the start of the year, which we've spoken about before. We don't have to go back over that, but if we can do a deal where we can get some players in, we will do. I still think we are a couple of players shy if we're to push for promotion. As you look at the teams around us, they're making signings. Toulouse have made a big signing, York have made a couple of signings this week, and Barrow have. There's a lot of people making signings at the moment because of the deadline, and we've got the dual registration in place, and we'll probably look to get a couple of players on loan before the deadline from Warrington who've played for us previous, and if there's a couple, maybe one or two players out there that we need to bring in just to strengthen us. It's certainly something that we'll try and do if budget allows.
And just looking at the squad as a whole, Joe Tira's ban's come to an end now, and Dave Cookson's back to fitness. That just leaves James Dandy unavailable. Does that leave some selection headaches for you and the coaches, or are you happy where we're at?
Oh, I think we're performance based, and you look at some of the lads' performances last week. There will be changes next Sunday. That's just the nature of the competition with the squad. We're not going to make knee-jerk reactions. Let's look at it. We're second in the table. It was our first defeat. It was an away defeat at a very tough side. But with Joe available, Dave Cookson's fit again now. Sure, those two will be pushing for a place in the squad. Ryan, who we've mentioned, and also Jordan Case went very well for Warrant Reserves last week. So he'll come back into the reckoning. After that knee injury he picked up at Oxford. So there is 4 quality players there. Potential couple of dual reg again, but we might not need to use those as much at Newcastle, and we'll see how we pull up next week, and we'll have a look at Newcastle, and we'll pick the best 17 players to go there and get the job done.
And just looking forward to next week at Newcastle, how are you gonna prepare and deal with this weekend off?
Yeah, look, we've had a good week so far, and we're going to have a good hit out tomorrow, 13-a-side game. Probably, around the 40 to 60 minute mark. We'll see how they go. Early Saturday morning, and then we'll have the rest of the weekend just to recover from that. So that'll be as close to games conditions as we can. We got a referee there. We've also got a couple of Warwick Wolves fringe players coming to play in that game, which will boost the numbers and obviously add to the quality of the game. So we'll look forward to that. It'll be a good hit out, and that'll stand us in good stead. We'll come in Tuesday, Thursday, and we'll go again. The lads haven't had any time off this week. Like I mentioned previously, they've had their little break now, and we're really ramping up for these last 4 games, leading into the Super 8s, because we need to find some consistency. We need to cement our place, hopefully in that top 2. Which will give us the 4 home games in the next stage, and that's what we're looking at now. And we've got to get things right first and foremost. We've got Newcastle a week on Sunday, and that's what our focus is now.